Hey, this is Notser, and today we're talking ship news. 9.3 is getting released, and there's some updates inside of it that we need to discuss. On top of that, there is a couple developer blog posts which are highlighting key additions and changes. 9.4 early access for the Soviet heavy cruisers. Also, premium consumables going away. That's a lot of things to talk about, so let's get to it. Game in the background is myself and Dmitry Donskoi. And my build is on the screen. And yes, we are using IFHE. We'll see how well it works out in this game. I'm kind of feeling like I don't need it. It really does feel like it's a side grade. So we'll explore that further, but let's talk about all of the juicy, interesting news. So, 9.3, it's coming out today or tomorrow, depending on your region. It's coming out April 8th and 9th. And it is going to introduce the full release of the Pan EU DDs. And they are long-range torpedo AA specialists with no smoke but a heal. They work out really nicely, sort of a game manager, and the torpedoes themselves are very enjoyable to use. On top of 9.3, introducing the line for you to just grind out your own, you're going to have access to unlocking the Legendary Commander. The Pan-European Legendary Commander has 3 specific traits. 2 are activatable passives, and 1 is enhanced trait. Adrenaline Rush is enhanced. As far as the activatable passives, if you land 8 torpedoes, you will get access to a 5% faster recharge. This is something that is stackable. It's pretty interesting. I've played with it in practice. It ends up functioning very nicely. And then on top of that, there is an AA gun aiming expert where you get 20 aircraft shot down, you get 10% higher continuous damage. That one is only a single activation, but the torpedo one being multiple activation means that it's really, really in your best interest to send torpedoes frequently to get the recharge faster and faster and faster, so late game you can honestly be devastating. Because the torps on Pan Euros, they don't do a lot of damage, but they're very fast, so you usually land a lot of torpedoes per salvo send. It's an interesting concept for the line itself. Someone asked me, is there a torp line that's intriguing to you? This is the most intriguing torp line I've seen, and I'm very excited to get the tier 10 and the tier 9, because ain't no way I'm getting those tokens. The Pan-European container tokens, I've had terrible luck with it. I had to spend a significant amount of doubloons, which is all because of all you lovely people who have joined my recruiter friend. The recruitment station really helps out for that, to cover the cost for that, and I just didn't want to miss out. But if you guys are in the situation that I was, boy, there's not a lot of return on it, and we're here at 9.3, so it doesn't matter, right? But I'm glad they're out. I kind of disliked this containers method the most, because it was just so obvious I was not going to get anywhere close. But having said that, at least I saw progression, whereas with the Lightning, it took me 220 containers before I actually got the drop, which is far and away worse than that would ever be. So if they have to make money off of early access, this is probably the most fair way. I just hate being the unlucky person, and my luck will always continue in games like this, so, it's the way it works. But 9.3, Pan-European, very exciting as far as that's concerned. We've got a clan battle, 7 versus 7, tier 10 ships only. And that's going to happen April 15th through June 7th. Wow, okay, so you guys will have plenty of stuff to do in quarantine, as I am. We have rank sprint, 12 versus 12, tier 9s and 10s. So tier 10 arms race, it's going to be April 29th through May 11th. 9.3's exterior tab, huge update. You can demount all, mount all. They've gotten rid of the limitations of the flag, 8, a hard limit on 8. Now it is 8 combat flags, and then up to, I think, 14 or 21 economy flags, and they don't compete for slots. So all of those XP, free XP, you can take those, and you can equip all of the combat enhanced signal flags. This is great, obviously, but this is something that I'm used to. World of Warcraft sort of vanilla BC expected all these buffs to come through the changes to the exterior tab, encouraging this. And their other change that is not coming in 9.3 but is super exciting, I'm just going to bring it up real quick. Premium consumables are no longer going to exist in the game in the sense that you will have to pay for them. The baseline consumables will have the premium cooldown and the extra charge, but it will cost the same amount as the normal consumables do now. The normal consumables with their incredibly long cooldowns and limited charges are going away completely. That is not happening in 9.3, but because it's happening, that is going to alleviate some of the credit investment, obviously. Where's that credit investment going to go? It could stand to reason that it goes towards maybe introducing some way for the player to invest more in buffing up their ship in moment to moment with buying camouflage and buying signal flags. That's what I'm just sensing. I haven't heard this, but if you put money into something, you expect a return on it. And as much as I like to say, oh yeah, this is something they didn't have to do. They could keep saying the same thing. Oh, well, there's just more important features that we want to get in the game. But it's important enough now that they made the effort. And the effort's great. I'm just wondering how that effort is going to evolve the game overall. Matchmaking improvements. We've got tier 7 through 10 battles. There's a limit on number of ships 2 tiers lower than the battle tier. So that's interesting. They've placed a limit on the maximum number of ships whose tier corresponds to the battle tier. So it seems like they don't want there to be too many high tier, but at the max tier, way less low tier. So an intermediate amount of ships will probably collectively fill out these games that span across two. They've also updated the settings that restrict the number of ships of a specific type in battle. So when they say stuff like that, they're talking about at least 3 ships of tier 8, but no more than 5 ships of tier 10. That's the sort of thing that they have adjusted. And we'll see if it has like a measurable impact on the player's perception. One other thing that they're doing in 9.3 is they're introducing the unique upgrades. So these are those legendary upgrades, the Des Moines acceleration, the GK secondary main battery reload, the Moskva accuracy, the Amano accuracy, the Zhao accuracy, all of these crazy modifiers that went away a while ago. Many of you probably have some personal missions still going. Those will go through the end of 2020. At least that was what it was before the virus. But they're introducing them into the Research Bureau as predicted, and they will cost 19,200 research points. So it will require your first daily or your first line double of every 3 months. And it generates a ×2. So you can do that one time and get 20,000. Or, like most people, you will be stuck having to grind out 2 lines again in order to unlock one unique upgrade. So hopefully you guys who have already unlocked all of the personal missions on your account, definitely work through them and try and get those done before the end of 2020. That's clearly the easiest pocketbook adjustment that they've done to the game. And I highly recommend you, if you can take advantage of it, if you can avoid it also. In 9.5, they are making changes to these upgrades. So I would probably recommend you not invest in any legendary upgrades until at least 9.5 comes out, because they could nerf something that you tried to regrind quickly. And wouldn't that be the worst thing ever? I would honestly hope that Wargaming would offer some refund, but I'm sure they're going to be like, well, in the patch notes we mentioned that the changes are planned in 9.5 for these unique upgrades, and they'll probably just say that's enough for it. But who expects this unique upgrade thing to be a part of a patch, and then 2 patches later, possibly them get some slight nerf? You don't really expect that. So it's kind of odd the way they're introducing it, but hopefully you guys are aware and you can pass on that information, and hopefully other CCs do as well. We have the ships. Marblehead, Anshan, and Marceau will be added to ships for resources. It's going to be all coal, and the Marceau is going to cost 236,000 coal. Now, I do not think it's 236,000 coal worthy, but maybe someone does. Anshan will be 40,000, Marblehead will be 34,000 coal. Any other changes? The Orkin will be sold for doubloons, and it will benefit you to have the Orkin for progressing to get that legendary commander for the Pan EU DDs. Remember the one with the torpedo reload and the AA. There's other balance changes to a bunch of ships, plus or minus. You guys can check all that out. It's a lot of small numbers. I would like to talk about other things announced. The premium consumable announcement is obviously really great, and we sort of previewed it before, but I just want to reiterate. They are making premium consumables the baseline experience for every single player in the game. They are getting rid of the cheaper version's power, but they're keeping the premium consumables the same cost as the normal. So everyone gets a buff, and this should help everyone. This should honestly make every single player's basic power level closer overall. Obviously, I always use premium because I can afford it. Many of you guys can't because you're trying to grind out lines and you're just building up your credit. Making all of your experiences with the premium consumable, though, if you're not familiar with how fantastic they are, you get an extra charge, and the cooldowns are much quicker. So you can use your consumables more frequently and for longer, honestly, because you'll have an extra charge. So it's a healthy change in the game, one that honestly should have happened long ago, but everyone should be excited. This is only good. If you have a ton of premium consumables stocked up, you're going to get the credit value for that, because obviously they're going to basically be the cheapest cost, which is wonderful. And Wargaming is getting rid of the more consumable option for containers, because there's no longer going to be that distinction. Obviously, with premium consumables going away and all of the normal ones getting upgraded, you wouldn't need to benefit from getting a premium version of it. So that container option is going away. You'll still have, test your luck. You'll have resources, you'll have credit, and I believe you'll have signals, but you won't have containers for consumables, which, you know what, that's cool. If it means they introduce a new one, that might happen down the line, but at this point, it seems that they're just rotating the premium consumable concept out of the game and maybe rotating something in to replace it. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. And then finally, we've got the Soviet heavy cruiser line Splint. Early access is 9.4. You'll have a chance to earn the tier 8 or the tier 9. When this is occurring, I don't know if the Moskva changes are going to happen. Now, I just want to reiterate what question is asked of Wargaming and how they answer it, because the Moskva is kind of still confusing, because I think it's honestly not going to be as much as maybe we're used to. So, and I think that's due to the fact that they've established all these resource ships in the armory and the classification for ships and stuff. It's not like it... Normally, I think what Wargaming would do is they would take the Moskva model and they would stick it in the heavy cruiser line and change its stats. But they would just move it and change. Similar to the Udaloy. That's a good example of a ship that changed in the Ognivoy. But now, when asked, what are your plans with the Moskva in relation to the Alexander and the Petro, Wargaming really only answers the Moskva question. And they always go, if you have the Moskva, now you will have it when this change occurs, and it will be a special ship when it occurs. Special ships are tier 10. They don't have premium credit. They have their premium camo, though, which is a really nice benefit. And I think if you don't have the premium camo, you will get the premium camo, because it will have been sort of a reclassified ship. And because of that reclassification, it's baked in. So that's a nice bonus. But I think because they're reclassifying that ship, and they're giving it to you, basically, the premium camo for anyone who didn't spend, I don't believe that it will be associated as the tier 10 Soviet cruiser when it comes out. And that means to me that when it comes out, this change, you will basically have to re-unlock the tier 10. because you wouldn't have had any progression on the Alexander, the replacement light cruiser with the 180s. So that's my feeling. The premium camo will probably not duplicate. You won't get that kind of benefit, and I don't know if there'll be compensation for those of us who already have it and will have already benefited from getting it in the reclassified special version of the Moskva. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what it kind of feels like. Just want to forewarn you guys, I don't think we're going to benefit quite as much as we thought from having the Moskva. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content and click the most recent or the most relevant uploads, you could also choose to subscribe to my channel. We do daily Waters videos, first impression, how-to, news, and review related. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.